Hello YouTube. The video we have for you today is about removing an old Frigidaire dishwasher and replacing it with a brand new unit. There are several useful tips throughout the video, and one is super useful if your new or existing dishwasher all of a sudden starts dripping water near the corners of the door. This tip can potentially save you a technician's visit. It's closer to the end of the video, but we'll include timestamps in the video description. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Enjoy. We're replacing a Frigidaire dishwasher, and we'll show you guys how to do it. This one started leaking. It's about 15-20 years old, so no need to repair it. We'll just replace it with a new unit, and we'll show you how to do it. So first things first, unload the dishwasher, take out these racks, and there are two screws that are holding it in place. We'll unscrew those, but disconnecting two screws here, and this is it. The dishwasher should slide right out. Okay, so we've removed the two screws at the top. We're also going to remove the two screws at the bottom and remove the skirting, so that we have access to the bottom of the dishwasher. And with this, we'll literally just slide this unit out. Okay, so we drained the water out of this unit, and we'll continue pulling it out. But we will disconnect the drain hose here and then just slide this out. We're going to replace it anyway. And we'll feed it through that hole. Remove the zip tie. And why it's not a good idea to have it up here is because to drain, the water needs to go all the way up before it gets into the drain. We're just feeding this tube through the hole, and this should allow us to pull the dishwasher completely out. This is essentially it. It's a little dirty in here, but basically we've got the drain hose, which we're going to pull out. That is the water line, which we will disconnect as well before we connect the new dishwasher. And then the electrical line will also disconnect, and that'll connect to the new unit. One other point that I neglected to mention earlier is before disconnecting the water line needs to be closed. So we're just disconnecting the water line. It's advisable to put some rag or a paper towel underneath, because some water is going to come out. To make sure there's no flood. Once this is removed, some water dripped out, but that's okay. And so now we're just gonna feed this line through the hole, and quite a bit of water came out, so we're just gonna clean that up quickly back here, and we'll be ready to pull the unit completely out. So we just need to disconnect the electrical connection, and the box is right here, so we remove this one screw, and the cover should come right off, which it did. And then we may need to flip the unit on the back because it's not reachable from here. Alright, so we flip the unit on the back and just pulling out these electrical connections, but as I said earlier, very important to make sure that the main power to the unit is turned off to avoid any unintended sparking. So here we go, just disconnecting the electrical. It's simple connection, black to black, white to white, and then ground is this green screw, which we will also disconnect. And pull out the wires. However, this clip here inside the unit, it's holding the wires in place. It's a safety device that basically keeps the wires in place and prevents them from moving if the unit vibrates, which is important to avoid any of the insulation on the wires becoming frail and then causing an electrical short circuit. That's it, the wires came out and the unit is fully disconnected. We could have tried to reuse these braided hose, but we won't do it just in case. We picked up the new ones. They're fairly cheap. and it makes sure that the rubber gaskets inside are gonna last. Okay, we're unboxing the new unit, and it's a brand new Frigidaire dishwasher, similar unit that we're replacing. And to open the box, just cut along the dotted line at the bottom. And it's gonna be ready to go. So we've got the new unit out of the box, and we put it on the back. The electrical box is right here, and the unit came with its own drain hose, so we're just gonna keep this one. We'll connect it to the existing outlet, and that's gonna be it. And then the water connection will connect here. We'll show you what's needed. For that, there's a 90 degrees elbow that then connects to the braided hose. But first things first, let's connect the electrical connection. So here's a little tip we just learned we needed. The shape of the screw that holds in place this electrical cover is a hex screw, and the size of it is T15. So you'll need a T15 screwdriver bit to unscrew it. Now this here, just to keep in mind also, Whirlpool did not put a plastic cover that goes on here to actually keep the wires from rubbing against the metal and fraying, and that's something that we do need to have for safety. So what we'll do is we'll try to reuse the one that is in the old units. So we got this this plastic cap that goes in here. Hopefully it fits. Now all our wires are secure, and we can go ahead and start connecting the unit to the power wires. One thing I do like to do is these wires come pre-stripped, but I like to strip them a little bit more, just so that it's easier to connect. So we strip the wires just a little bit more to expose a bit more of the metal, and then twist them in the same direction to make sure that they're all nice and tight and not fraying. And then black wire goes to black, and we'll literally just wrap the wire around the copper wire in the same direction as we will be putting on the twist-on electrical caps. Ground wire goes around the green ground screw here. That's it. Our unit is grounded. And now all we need to do is just tug the wires in. And then the screw will go back in place, and that'll be the electrical connection. So this is the kit that we picked up at Home Depot. So it comes with a 90 elbow that will connect here, the braided hose, and there's another 90 connection, which we won't be using today, but it's just for a different type of dishwasher. So we just put in this 90 degrees. So the 3/4 one does not require Teflon tape when it goes onto the unit. Just make sure that the adapter, the 90, is pointing towards the back of the unit. And so we're just connecting the braiding hose to it. The key thing, especially with this connection, is not to over tighten, because it's plastic and very easy to strip. Okay, so we just tighten it on. So we've got our drain, we've got our electrical connected, we've got our water supply connected, and now it's just the matter of standing the unit up, sliding it into place, feeding the water line and the drain line through the hole in the cabinet. We'll connect them under the sink, and we should be good to go to test our new installation. One little tip when installing a dishwasher is to use a simple level just to check if the unit is generally leveled. It is generally level, and that's, yeah, the bubble is tilting a little bit to the back, which is okay. We do want water to drain or to sit closer to the back, because if the unit is tilted forward, and that's what we're trying to prevent, then the water can start spilling from underneath the door. There's a gasket there, but it's not watertight. It's just tight enough to keep the water from splashing out. On the inside of this unit, it's literally a tub that holds the water in place. And so tilting the unit a little bit to the rear is what we need to do to make sure that the water doesn't splash out. Okay, so we just fed the water connection and the drain down to the into the cabinet, and the unit is essentially in. So now we're just going to secure the unit. This is how it looks. So we will remove this green cover to expose a beautiful stainless steel shine. and that'll complete our installation, and then we'll test the unit to see that it's working and that all our connections are watertight and nothing is leaking. All right, and so now we're just connecting the water supply line onto this connection, and I think here we will just need to cut this skirting off. So here we are, just cut off the skirting here to fit it on this nipple, and little metal fastener here, and it goes right on. So let's test our water connection. So this is dry. Open the water. We'll see if it's still dry, but the main thing is that everything's staying dry underneath the unit. So the connection elbow is right here, and so far everything is dry, so we'll just need to be able to tell if it's leaking or if it's just some old water coming out. Okay. So we turned the unit on. If you can hear the water is running, I can certainly feel hot water going through this 90-degree elbow, and it is completely dry, so that's good news. These Frigidaire machines, there is a bit of a design flaw, and so what happens a lot of times, even the brand new units, they start splashing water in the corners, and so Frigidaire and others sell aftermarket flaps like this that go on the inside and prevent water from splashing out. They sell these to you for $40, these tiny little things. So we took out the old ones from the old machine. We'll put them in this one, and if they ever leak, we'll get new ones. But this is a really good tip to keep in mind, because sometimes a new machine will leak. It doesn't mean you need to exchange the machine. It just means that you need to buy these things. But they're not widely advertised by Frigidaire up front, but that's something that we had to do on all similar machines every time we got them. Okay, so to install this little splash guard, what we need to do is pull out the rubber gasket here, and the flap on the splash guard just goes behind the gasket and just inside the groove where the gasket sits, and then the gasket goes on top of it and hold it in place like this, and it'll prevent the water from being splashed from here into the corner and coming out. And so we'll do the same on the other side. So let's see if the door closes, and it does. And we're going to run the unit once again to make sure nothing, no water comes out. So let's do that. And that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it useful. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, please leave those down below.